Dr. Swamy, I'll start by a first question to you, which is on a very topical issue.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Entire world is talking about the coronavirus, and
Yes.
uh, even the U.S. President Donald Trump has been taking a tough, stringent stand on the originator of the virus in China, and a lot of reports we get from different parts of the world. Even government of India, I understand, has issued some regulation having some control on FDI coming from China. So there has to be some, it's not an automatic route. There is some control on the FDI coming from China. So on this coronavirus and this FDI regulation from funds coming from China. And also another aspect which perhaps I will take up a little later in the program. But on this, could we have your comments, please, for the benefit of our viewers and the
Yeah.
people in India and abroad?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of cacophony, so let's see what actually is being said by both the United States and Europe. The most stringent, of course, the most stringent voice is that of the US president. But essentially, what he is saying is that China should have informed us much ahead of time. As soon as they came to know that this virus had escaped due to some malfunction in the or some mistake of the laboratory. I don't think that there's any country today which is saying that China deliberately, did this bio terror act of creating this new virus and then spreading it. But seems to be some unanimity that China could have told the world about it much earlier. Now, I think this is only for China to answer. I really don't know, except I would be surprised if the earlier allegations were even remotely true. China is all said and done, although it's a communist country and it has very strict control on information. The freedom of the press is not something that's part of communism. So they may have withheld the information, all that. But to say that they deliberately invented it, I don't think there are any takers in the world today. I'm not in a position to comment on it because nobody in the world is seriously taking it. There are some usual China haters who want to create problems between India and China. For example, the Pakistanis who induce some of our people to make these ridiculous charges. So that is one. And probably what happened is that, by the way, just to mention, Mr. Ratan Tata, who was the chairman of the TIF, went into a collaborative agreement with the US Defense Department and also the Wuhan University to investigate about the bats in Nagaland, where there are a lot of bats. So this was, as you know, I made it public. It was also published in the Hindu newspaper. And then the government of India has ordered an inquiry because it was done without government permission. The Tata Institute department has also issued a clarification now. They admit to all that, but they say that no samples were given to China. I mean, I don't know what that means. I mean, if all three of you are working together, how is it that the samples were not given or not given? It's not important. The fact is that the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, without government of India's okay, it's a very, very serious matter. It shows the utter disregard of our national interests that you would, with a country, and that too in Northeast, in Nagaland, would engage in research with the Chinese university without the knowledge of the government of India. Now, having said that, I would say that the Chinese are members of this UN Security Council. and they have, the matter has been addressed to them. They should answer. Why? I think none of us should guess the answer, because I really don't know. I have not talked to any Chinese, because there's a lockdown. Only the only interaction I have is with you people or anybody who makes a phone or interview with me. But the fact is that it is a matter which needs to be cleared up, and it should be done. Now, India reacted yesterday by saying we are now withdrawing China from the automatic clearance list, and we are putting them under government permission. Every project from China or investment from China will have to be cleared by the PMO. But today, this evening in the CNBC, Amitabh Kant says, no, this is wrong interpretation. China's investments are welcome. We are looking forward to it. There is a need for investment and so on. I really don't know what is happening, because it's like that HCQ export. It was banned by an order of the Commerce Ministry, the Director General of Foreign Trade, or whatever it is called. In the Department of the Ministry of Commerce, had issued that, and that has still not been withdrawn, which bans exports. So when I inquired from my former ministry, how is the exports taking place? So they said it is going through a government-to-government arrangement, which is independent of these things. It's a very strange situation, but I think we need now to have much greater transparency in these matters. And if the government of India is affected by what has happened, and is worried that the Chinese ought to have told us in advance, I think they should ask the Chinese directly, and rather than allow the newspapers to go to riot on it, where all kinds of lobbies are working nowadays.